Hello and welcome to our brand new video. I'm Michael from Crane and Crane, and to my left is nobody. That's right, everyone. This is a solo venture, and as you eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed, this is NHL 16. Now, for those of you not familiar, NHL is the EA Sports ice hockey game. Now, I'm a big hockey fan. It's difficult to be so in the UK. With the time difference with the games and stuff like that, and the fact that it's not the easiest to view, but I do my best to keep on top of it, keep up to date with what's going on, and yeah, I'm a big fan of the series. They can be a bit hit and miss, the NHL games. Some of the older ones were superb. They're a bit arcadey, but I love them. They've gone for some elements of realism, certainly in the newer games, but then some of the AI is quite frankly laughable at times. I mean, more dedicated NHL gamers than myself have certainly documented the issues with that. But this is a fun game. I've got high hopes for 17, and yeah, I'm looking forward really to getting it going. And what I'm sort of looking to do on 17 is do sort of a GM mode, sort of the career mode, one that is a simulated one, but I'll obviously take care of all the trades, all the drafts, all that sort of thing. With the new game, 17, just round the corner, I didn't think there was too much point getting something that's going to be really a series going. I just thought I'd do sort of a showcase, sort of gauge an interest, sort of just talk really a little bit about the sport, about my passion for it, and a little bit about the game, just sort of showcasing it. So I thought I'd do something that I've not really done before on this version of the game, or any version of the game in fact. So I'm going to jump in, and I'll meet you in a sec. Right, so what I'm going to do is something that as I said, I haven't done before. I'm going to use my favourite team, the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, for those of you that are more familiar with hockey, you'll know that they're a pretty good team. I mean, like them or loathe them, they're a pretty good team. Now, they didn't always used to be. In fact, when I first started supporting them, they were pretty rubbish around the mid-2000s. But that's one of the many things that I love about hockey, is that teams that used to be rubbish, they draft well, pick up a few good players, then they can be good. So those Toronto Maple Leafs fans, I mean, although they're always pretty bad, but those teams at the basement at the moment, they always feel they've got a chance in a couple of years' time because of how the drafting works and how they just have a chance to be in a better position to rebuild and go again. And you don't get that in, say, football, for example. It seems to be the same sort of teams. Obviously, Leicester wasn't a crazy anomaly last season, but it seems to be the same sort of teams dominating. But what I'm going to do on this video is just a little bit of fun, a little fantasy draft. So just pick from all the players in the league, see where some people end up. See if there's a few amusing things there, and yeah, just sort of get a feel for doing a solo video, because this is my first one. And then just get a feel for the game, get a gauge for interest before we start the 17 series, when that eventually comes out, and when I buy it and can afford it, because I'm not making money. Right then, just so you don't see that I'm going to change the order of the draft, apart from one randomisation, of course. Unless I'm first, then maybe I won't randomise it. Right, so as it stands, it'd be the Pittsburgh Penguins having the first pick with the Philly Flyers second. But I'm just going to randomise it once, and there we go. So I've got the 16th pick. The Sharks will have first pick. I'd be surprised if they don't pick Crosby. But yeah, let's see, what happens on this first round of the draft, shall we? Right, so it's to me. Carlson. So let's see who's gone first. So yeah, Crosby is now a Shark. Kerry Price is gone to the Panthers. Ben to the Blues, Shea Weber to the Penguins, Kane is an Arizona Coyote. Now, I do like the Coyotes, but Kane's my favourite player. Taves to the Kings. Ooh, not sure they'd be too happy about that one there. Well, they would, because he's an amazing player, but you know what I mean. Right then. Who will I have available is the first question, isn't it? Right, okay. So no one has taken Alex Ovechkin. No one has taken Alex Ovechkin. Goaltenders? Nobody's taken Quick or Lundqvist. Oh, but I think if I wait around and then get a goaltender, I can still get a decent goaltender, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get someone of Alexander Ovechkin's quality in the next round. So I've got to pick him. Still the best sniper in the game, to be honest, so why wouldn't you? But Alexander Ovechkin on the Chicago Blackhawks, can you imagine? Holy moly, let's just see if there are any amusing ones after my pick. Oh, David. Oh, he went to the Oilers again. There you go, someone joining up with their former club there, McJesus. Some of those right, okay. So I've got Ovechkin. Do I want to put a first liner to go alongside him? Now, obviously, in this, it's going to be different to how I would draft it if I was actually going to play it, because obviously Datsuk's 37 years old, that's why he's not been picked up. But the fact of the matter is he's a cracking player, and I'm just doing it just to see the best team that I could possibly get. But I would... no, that's not what I meant it to do. Meant it? Christ, Michael, that is not a word. What I wanted to do is get a goaltender. Oh yeah, the quality's dropping off quite swiftly. So I'm going to go for Corey Crawford. Yes, it's a homer pick, but I think he's one of the... He's up there as one of the top... He's not the top, but I'd think if you put him top 5 at the moment, it'd be difficult to disagree. Right then, let's see who's available. Datsuk's still there. Oh, why do I... there's so many homer picks there. I have got my elite forward. Do I want to try and get Vlasic to be my elite D-man? D-men seem to be going quicker than forward. It's difficult to pass up Datsuk, but I think I need a stud 1D, and I think Vlasic is the answer there. He's a cracking defenseman. I don't think anyone would dispute that. So I'm going to pick up Edward Vlasic. There we go. Words are hard. Wow, I can't speak right. I don't even know if I've got to think about salary cap. I should have probably checked. In fact, I'm going to have to think about salary cap. So I'm not going to be... That's maybe why a lot of people have shied away from Datsuk, because he has a hefty salary for a player of that. I mean, that's why I think the big salary players, that's why your Boone Jenners and stuff like that are going earlier. Right, so I've got my 1D, I've got my goaltender, got a left wing. I think I'm going to go for my first line centre, so I'm going to go for a centre. But who's going to be the right one to pick up? The mixture of salary and quality. Martin Hansel. I do like Martin Hansel, but I don't know if he's a bona fide 1C. Same with Kessler. I mean, Hank Sedin is, but there's no point playing him without his brother. Because, well, I mean, Jason Spezza. That's Nazem Kadri. Is he going to be a 1C? Adam Henrique, Derek Brassard, Derek Stepan, Plakanich, Shifley, Benajad. These aren't 1C material, but there's going to be teams out there without a 1C. I mean, do I pick up Hansel because he's got a good salary cap and he's an all-round. He's not going to get me the goal. But then again, I suppose if I've got Ovechkin, I'd really want more of a playmaking centre, more of a Miku Koivu perhaps, but he's more of a two-way. How was his passing when we were looking? 87 puck skills, right? Let's see who's got 5-star puck skills, because then that's more likely to have passing, right? Obviously Datsuk does. Jason Spezza is a very good player. He's been excellent for Dallas. I mean, he's $7.5 million. I mean, it's the same as Datsuk in all fairness. So why would I not go for Datsuk if I'm going to pay that sort of money? Why would I not? Right, okay. I wish you could see your salary cap. That would be helpful. Right, so I've got goaltender. I've got 2 parts of the first line. Let's see. Right winger. or D-man? Who's going to be the best one available for... I don't want to spend too much. Oh, Nikita Kucherov, still on low money. That is going to be very difficult to turn down. What about D-man? D-man. I mean, the quality is dropping off, but I don't think I can pass up Nikita Kucherov for that money. Yeah, in he goes, boom. Right, okay, so I've got my entire first line, I've got my starting goaltender. I think I need another D-man, preferably a reasonably cheap one. Sami Vartanen, offensive D-man, still got good defensive stats, not the most physical. I don't have the most physical D at the moment. Oh, Keith Yandel, I'm a big fan of Keith Yandel's, so why don't you show him to me, game? Sami Vartanen, Keith Yandel. Vartanen's better defensively. Yandel's would be better offensively. I think I would take, if I were a GM, I think I'd take Vartanen just because he's younger and he's less salary, so I'll go Sami Vartanen. Yes, please. Right, so I've got my opening team. If I were to pop them out opening night on the ice, it would be Kucherov, Datsuk, Ovechkin, Vartanen, Vlasic, Crawford as my starters. That's not a bad team. If you ask me. Right, forwards, just forwards. This one, just going to get a good second liner, cheap forward. We don't have physicality, and if you think physicality, Milan Lucic is physicality. I think he would be a great person to have. You can switch between him and, not Ovechkin obviously on the first line, but maybe put Lucic on the first line if you need to. I mean, Ovechkin's obviously got some physicality, but Lucic, he would bring what we would need to the team. I'll take a look at the D-men, but I'm feeling another forward here. But I suppose I could still spend big on like a Zdeno Chara. That's a lot of money. Anton Strawman is very, very capable. Chris Tanev. Ooh, Chris Tanev. Got a fair amount of upside. Chris Tanev could be the one, ladies and germs. Any forwards out there that are screaming for me to pick them? Jaromir Jagr, I'd love to, but sure, Louis X and Gabriel, I mean, these are all lefties. I've already got lefties. Tanev. I'm going to go Tanev. I wasn't going to go D-man. But if you can have a good D, then you can win championships. And that's a fact. A lot of options out there, but I think the issue is going to be the salary cap. That's the problem with having an all-star team. Can't have too many people eating up salaries. Oh, right, there you go. It's got bloody salary cap at the top. What an idiot I am. Right, okay. So I've used up a lot of salary already. Probably should have thought about it before I went in to this, but never mind. So, forwards cheap. Later, not too familiar with him, to be honest. David Perron, another lefty though. I will get a centre. I think my second line centre, play alongside Lucic, so I can have more of a skilled one. Let's have a look at this Lehtera guy. Yuri Lehtera. I mean, he's got a bit of physicality about him. To be honest, he's the Blues fella, isn't he? That's it. Yeah. Oh, he's a good player. Yeah, welcome aboard, son. Knock yourself out. Right. So where do I sit? I've got. Am I just going to build position by position? Just go right wing next? I mean, I could certainly do that. Why not, eh? Let's just build systematically. From the top to the back. These aren't screaming second line to me. Shane Doan, what a player, but I mean, Justin Williams, he's 84 now, but I think I could just find being second line. Justin Williams is a good player. I'm gonna have to fill out the bottom six with reasonably average players, but you do what you do, and this is the reason why a lot of these older players aren't being picked up yet. As I say that, there are very few left. They obviously have been recently, as teams have done their strategy a bit better than me, but that's fine. Right, to be honest, I just want another D-man, but I want a cheap D-man. Jason Demers at 2.2 actually could even be an even better shout. Jason Demers, I think, is probably the better shout. At 27, two-way D-man, good all round. Yeah, Jason Demers, come on down. But that's a good top 6 if you ask me. Ovechkin, Datsyuk, Kucherov, Lucic, Lehterä, Williams. Who did my 1D? Man, I'm an idiot. That's not like that long ago. Playing alongside Vartanen, Tanev and Demers. I don't think you can argue with that. But now it needs to be cheap as chips. Just going to check who that 1D is because I feel like a numpty. Vlasic. Of course it's Vlasic. Good player. Right. Boy oh boy. Right, let's go forwards. And let's get someone preferably less than 2 million cap hit. A third liner. You know, don't need too much from them. Just need to be a solid third liner. Yeah, Starberg. Ex-Blackhawk as well, so bring him back. Centre. Bonino. Ah, it's perfect third line centre. I mean, it's still probably more than I should be spending, but I mean, how can you not? How can you not? Part of the HBK line. Apologies if you're not too familiar with hockey. I'm just saying things that you're probably thinking that doesn't make any sense. Why Shawn Michaels playing ice hockey? Sorry about that. But I'd say just start watching it. It's a fantastic sport. It's so fast paced. It's physical, and it's so much skill involved, and it's just great. It is just great. But anyway, enough about how good the sport is. Let's pick some players. Right, I really don't want to be spending much at all. I can't believe we gave Brian Bickle that contract. He's god awful. And, you know, Patrick Maroon, Yuri Tlusty, Brandon Peary. There you go. Let's bring back another former boy D-man then. Or do I want to back up tender? Let's see what the goaltending stakes are like because I want someone that can actually play in the. Oh yeah, there's Scott Darling. There you go. I'll just bring back the entire Blackhawks goaltending tandem, shall I? Antti Ranta as well is there. So yeah, there's goaltenders available. I don't need to pick up one of those. Do need a cheap D-man. I mean, Christian Ehrhoff does fit the bill, but he wouldn't want to play top 6. He'd want to play top 4. So I need just a top 6 D-man. That'll just do the job for cheap money. Scuderi, he is over the hill now, but I imagine in this game he's probably still half decent. Yeah, Rob Scuderi, he's won some cups, a bit of experience. He'd be happy with top 6 minutes. He will do the business. Just FYI, I'm not going to pick all the like AHLers and all that sort of thing because, to be honest, we're the best one in the world. Sorry if you are watching and are a hockey player for an AHL team. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm gonna get my 4 centers, 4 left wingers, 4 right wingers, 6 and then 7 D-men. I'll get my 3 goalies, and then I'll pick up a couple of spare forwards to what would be healthy scratches, injury cover, and then I'll end the video there. Do a little wrap up, and it'll be fantastic, and you'll love it, and you'll be amazed, and you'll watch my next series, and you'll recommend it to all your friends, and it will be great. Mike Richards, not going anywhere near you. You break the law. Carl Chupchora, I think he's the perfect fourth line centre. Yes, Carl Chupchora, grinder, get the job done. That's what I want from my fourth line centre. I do have a bit of money left as well. I do, but I'm happy with the make of the team. I can maybe pick up someone as a sort of a spare part, but I'm not going to leave it so I've got 0 cap space before picking up the AHLers, because that would just be silly. I think I might get that goaltender now just to make sure that they are still there, unless there's loads left. No, I could pick up any of those and be fine. I might splash the money on a goaltender, but no, I will go for D-man. Yeah, let's get the 6th D-man. I think getting a 6th D-man is more important than sorting the 4th line out. Right, someone that would be happy playing top 6 minutes. Lucas Pisa. You're getting paid a bit more money, but I do have a bit. Yeah, I think Lucas Pisa could do a job. Yeah, I think that's a perfectly fair pickup. So that's my 6 D-men. What I'll actually do is I'll once I've picked my team, I'll simulate the rest of the draft. and then take a look at some of the new look teams, as it were, see what their I'll simulate to the actual season to see what their teams would actually be, and then have a look through the lines, see if there's any amusing ones, see who I think's done the best out of the draft, see who you guys think has done the best. Even if you don't know anything, just pick the ones with the funniest names or the ones that you like the look of. So, I want to go to a goaltender. And Scott Darling has gone. Ben Scrivens, I think Ben Scrivens is a perfectly serviceable backup. Ben Scrivens. Right, so I need my fourth line left. You picked up Brian Bickle, Minnesota. Enjoy that contract. So a lefty, a righty, seventh D man, another I will pick up my AHL goaltender, and then we'll go from there. So we want to keep pressing the wrong one. Lefty to play fourth line minutes. Yeah, Nate Thompson will do as a fourth liner. 1.6 million. Hold on, that will leave me with. So pick up Nate Thompson, another right winger for about $1 million, defenseman for about $1 million, another goalie for about $1 million. That's $4 million. That'll leave me with $10 million, and about 10 players to sign. Yeah, that'll be fine. In this game I've never really had skillful players on my fourth line. I've always try and have my fourth line as more of a shut down line, just sort of someone that can just sort of get in amongst, pin people to the boards, crash the net, cause a few turnovers, that sort of thing. So that's all I'm really looking for. I mean, I've got no problem if I've got someone with a little bit of skill. Like Patrick Keys, for example, he's got some physicality to him, and some decent defensive stats. But he also can handle the puck and stuff as well. Ryan Garbutt, he's a great example of kind of what I look for, but without, I want sort of a slight less of a goon than Garbutt. Eric Condra, for example, I think Eric Condra is probably going to be my pick, because he's just solid across the board, and that's what I want from my fourth liner. So Eric Condra will be my fourth liner. Seventh D man, maybe an experienced head. I've done it again. Wow. Maybe an experienced head. Maybe someone that is, this is going to be the sort of the healthy scratch for injury. But I don't want someone that's going to get disappointed with seventh D time. Geordie Ben. I think Geordie Ben would be a great shout for seventh D. Shame he's not as good as his brother, but yeah, he's sort of the perfect seventh D for me. Wouldn't look out of place in the NHL, but I wouldn't trust him all the time on my top six. Right, so I'm just going to go pick up my AHL goalie, and then that'll tell me how much. So I will have, after this, I'll have 10 million to spend on the rest of my team, and I will have. There'll be 10 players to pick up, and then who should I get to be my AHL? Do I get Hamburglar? No, I think that's a bit of a waste of his talents. I think Hutton. Is it Carter Hutton? Have I made that up? Have I? Oh, baby! Yeah, you'll do as my AHLer. And then what was I on? 12.1, take off 0.7. So just under 11.5, 10 players to sign for 11.5. I can live with that. Joshua Ho-Sang, I've been reading some stuff about him recently. I think he might have been having words with Jesus or something like that. So I'm going to pick up even Joshua Ho-Sang, just to be in my AHL team. Not that I'm going to play any games, so it's not really worth it. But I think if you're going to do it right about building your squad and stuff like that. Any other young guys? Costello now. Kasperi Kapanen. I think you were part of the Phil Kessel trade, weren't you, son? Yeah, come on down. Why not? Right, I will leave it here now. So what I will do is I will sim the rest of the draft. It will go into the GM mode. If anything interesting pops up, I will let you know. If not, I'll sim to the start of the season so everyone's got their full strength lines out and everyone's under the salary cap and all of that business. and then I'll show you all the lines around the NHL, and then you can let me know what you think. If I can show, I don't even know if I can show all the lines in this game, but if I can't, I'll just go through the teams and have a look at who they've got, and let me know, and I'll let you know my thoughts, and then you can let me know your thoughts in the comments and whatnot. So, let's do this. Okay, so these are the lines that I've gone for, and I think they pretty much pick themselves, to be honest. So I've got line 1 Ovechkin, Datsuk, Kucherov, line 2 Williams, Lederer, Lucic, third line Pirri, Bonino, and Victor Stahlberg, and then Condra, Chipchura, and Thompson as a fourth line. I think that is very solid. I think those three, I mean, sniper, playmaker, sniper, and when that playmaker is Pavel Datsuk, I think you're going to get goals. I think that's just a fact. Bit of grit on the, bit of power on the second line with Lucic, later with the playmaker Justin Williams. He knows where the goal is. We could always swap those two around as well if needs be. Solid third line. Pirri, a bit more of a skillful player. Bonino can sort of get both jobs done. Stahlberg using his skating to do the job, and then just a solid fourth line. D, I'm quite happy with D. Vlasic, Vartanen, Tanev, Demers, Spisa, and Scuderi. I think there's nothing wrong with that at all. And just to refresh your memory, Crawford and Scrivens in goal. No, you can't, unfortunately, just look at the lines of everyone else in the league, as far as I'm aware. I mean, I could easily be wrong, but what I will do is I will just have a look at I'll just go trade players, and then you can sort of just see who's picked up what, really. So, the Ducks, I mean, that's a filthy first pairing. Point number 1, Suda and Johnson, and then you've got Kulikov, Martin, Martinez, and Gunnarsson. That is a great D. I don't think anyone would have any issue with saying that's a great defensive core. First line of Poso, Schwartz, and Dylan Larkin. Yeah, I'm not sure that Larkin's a bona fide 1C, but sure. Soderberg, Franzen, Grabner, Duclair, Miller, Ehlers, McKenzie, O'Meara. Their D is much better than their forwards. I don't think anyone would dispute that. Goalies, I mean, they got Marc-Andre Fleury, I mean, and Berra and Darling. Yeah, that's solid team. I would say that defence could win them a Stanley Cup. So I'll give me an 8 out of 10 for my drafting, and I'm 7 because I don't think they've built a good all-round team. I'm quite happy with my all-round team. Don't agree with Anaheim's. The Yotes, they've got Paddy Kane. I mean, that alone is amazing. They're putting their 1C as Jack Eichel. They've got a very young team. They have basically done what they are in reality, a young, promising team. But they've got some excellent prospects there. I mean, you match that with your Kanes, Giordano's. Vanek's probably overrated on this game. Yager is Yager. Niederreiter, Ryan Callahan. That is a good mix of youth and experience. Who do they have in between the pipes? And they've gone for Malcolm Subban as their starter. That is controversial. I would say that he's weak. If they'd have had sort of a mid-80s goaltender and then Malcolm Subban, I would have said that they have drafted incredibly well. I think that Patrick Kane is wasted on that team, but they've done well. I'd give them a 7 or an 8 for that. So Boston have got Tyler Seguin back, so I'm sure he's thrilled about that. Solid team. I don't see many holes. Maybe lacking that stud righty, but we don't really have a stud. I mean, Kucherov's a good player, but and yeah, solid goaltender tandem. Probably, I wouldn't say you win an NHL, win a Stanley Cup with that. But then again, we won it with Niemi in the net, so that's a 9. I'd say that's the best team so far. That's the best team so far. Ollie Marta, Ribeiro, Jokinen. I mean, if you got Ollie Martin and Fredo Tutin as your top D pairing, I mean, who's your second pairing? Hannafin and Tenordi, and Mueller and Morrissey. That is a weak ass defensive core. I mean, Taylor Hall, he's elite. There's no doubt about that. But Ribeiro's your 1C. No, I don't like. I mean, they've got a very good centre core. As in, if you wanted them all to play second or third line, but I don't see a bona fide 1C there. I mean, Bobrovsky is a good goaltender, and Jones is a very capable backup. But no, that's like a 5 for me. No, I hate that decor. Shankel, Jordan Stark back there. Sharp, Chara, Chakirk and Chara. That's pretty solid. With then Trevor Daley, Girardi, Ehrhoff, and Barbario. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Stahl, Sharp and Toffoli, Dubinsky, Zuccarello, Upshaw, and then just a lot of... Yeah, that's not a bad team at all. No, that's not a bad team at all. And Pecorino between the pipes. I mean, he's overrated on this game, but that's a good team as well. I'd say that's as good as mine. If not slightly better. No, I'm underselling how good AO is now. That's my team's slightly better, but that's still a good team. Reed, Atkinson. There's a drop off after that first line. There is a drop off. I mean, you've got some good young players, but that is a drop off. Goalies. No, not a good team there, I'm afraid. Columbus, not a good team. I mean, Hank Lundqvist is at the Flames. Ron McDonough, Eric Stahl, Steen, Hank Sedin. I mean, you've got a lot of lefties that you'd have to... Oh, Camilleri back at the Flames. Yeah, solid. No, not spectacular, but solid. Blubminek, Oliver Ekman Larson, cracking player, one of my favourites. I mean, that's a pretty bloody solid top pairing. Couture, Johnson, Marchand, Stone, Krug. Oh no. Yeah, solid. Pretty good team there. Who they got in goal? Because if they've got a stud goaltender, that's one of the better teams. And that's a stud goaltender. Yeah, I'd say that's a good team. I'd say it's a good team. Dallas, Johnny T, and Letang. I mean, that's a great first line. Simmons, Van Riemsdyk, and Tavares, and then Letang and Brody. I'd say that's comparable with my lineup that I'd put out first night. And it's good. And you got Gallagher, Stepan, Nielsen, Coburn, Branson, McGinn. Yeah, that's a deep squad, and that's a good squad. Will Dallas again have problems with goaltending? I mean, Jimmy Howard, I wouldn't want him to be my starting goaltender, but with that team in front of him, I think they would. That's a Stanley Cup competing team. That is an incredible first pairing. Duchesne, Hoffman, Johansson, Zabinajad, Mathot, King, Matthias, Lewis, Richardson. Wingers are a bit weak, and then after that top pairing, which is the best I've seen, you're really struggling after that. Oh, if you're going with Carrie Ramo as your number one, I mean, you got Hella Boyk. I mean, he's got a lot of potential, but If you say so, Detroit. If you say so. So again, it looks like Edmonton don't really have a defence. No, you can't have 75 and 74 as your bottom pairing. Oh, you've done it again, Edmonton. You've done it again. Have you still not got any goaltending either? Not really. I mean, you've just mirrored your real life selves. You really have. You suck. Wow, that is a top pairing right there. And you got Taves, Kane, but there's a massive fall off from. I mean, Parayko's a good player, but Suzuki. I mean, from there down isn't great. Wow, that is 1 star. I mean, McKinnon's a great player as well, actually. That is how you build a deep squad. That is a deep squad. Who they got in net? Ben Bishop and Ryan Miller and Jonas Hiller. Overkill much, but that is a, like, I mean, Carlson's alongside Nikitin. It's a weak. The star power is weak, but the team is very good as a whole, rating wise. I mean, Bickle was overrated on this game, but still, no, that's good. Well, someone's concentrated on the forwards. Holy moly! Oh no! You got Darnell, Nurse, Follin and then Demoulin and Hag. I mean, I thought it was going to be worse when I was scrolling down, but gee whiz, that's not great. Tuukka Rask for the Devils. He's a very, very good goaltender. Gino Malkin, Jason Spezza, Bobby Ryan, Monahan. They have stacked their centres. Jeez. Yandel and Leddy. Top pairing. Don't really buy that. I mean, that's a good second pairing. I mean, the D is pretty good. But they are stacked as hell at centre. Duncan Keith at Nashville. I can't. Duncan Keith and Morgan Riley. That is a defensive pairing. Zetterberg, Eberle, Eakin for a league. Well, this is a deep team. Yeah, that's a deep team. Deep D. Wow, that D is great. Actually, I'm looking at it. You got Spurgeon and Garrison, Larson, Green, Riley, Keith. Holy moly! I thought my D was good. Wowzers, trousers. I mean, Devin Dubnyk. For me, I'm never sure about Dubes. Oh, I don't know, but that defense, holy. Whoa, that's a good first line. Stamkos, Pavelski and Tatar. Not so. Oh, actually, no, your defence is quite good. In fact, that's a stacked. That is stacked. Who have you got in goal? If you've got a goaltender, this is a competitive team. Reimer. I don't know if Reimer is a. I mean, the Panthers seem to think that he's going to do it for them when Luongo goes. I haven't seen enough of Reimer, I'm going to be honest. But if Reimer does well, I mean, you don't perhaps need to. This is a very, very good team. That's a contender. Well, that's a good start. Crosby, Wheeler and Nash. Now that's a top line. That is a top line. That is good. They have got a decent team. Defence is lacking slightly. And that's a mistake. Ben Hoser. Little, yeah, no, that's a good. You got Marlowe there as well. Carlson, Muzzin, Kessler, Fanuff, Gabriel. Wow, this is a good team. This is a good team. Have you got a goaltender? Because if so, St. Louis, you do as well. Gibson and Elliott. That is a very good team. Wow. Sheesh. Whew. Well done. Well done. I think that might be the best team so far. You might disagree with me, but I think that's the best team so far. Guess I've backed from lads. Dean, Thornton, Bodker. Wow, maybe I'm changing my mind now. Bevista, Edler, Ward, Abdelkader, Klein, Franzen, Semin, Kennedy. Oh, who've you got in goal? Roberto Luongo. Oh, wow. I'd say that my team's good, but these teams are. I mean, you've got Getzlav, Ladd, Bodker first line. I'm not sold on Bodker being the first line, but then Backstrom. I mean, if you have, oh wow, you're gonna have to move one of those out to the wing because you can't have Jumbo Joe as a third line centre. But yeah, that's a good team. Not the most balanced, but a lot of good players. Right, so I've had a look through everyone. I'm gonna have to cut some of it out because otherwise this video is gonna take forever. But this sort of thing really interests me. I like to sort of see alternate futures and things like that. I like to experiment with things like that just to sort of see, you know, the big what ifs sort of thing. And that's why I'm really looking forward to the expansion draft that will happen when Vegas come in. Sort of a lot of the what if scenarios that are going to come up in the next season about who shall be traded and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I enjoyed this. It's obviously it's not showcasing any of the gameplay of the game, but it's been out long enough now that it's had enough. Everything that's going to be said about it is going to be said about it. But I will get 17 earlier doors. You'll see a bit of gameplay and stuff on that. But yeah, I enjoyed this video. I think I did well. I think I drafted a playoff team. I don't think I drafted a Stanley Cup winning team. I think that the Rangers, if I remember, definitely the Blues and definitely the Lightning have very good teams. Other teams aren't doing to do so well. In fact, the teams that sort of are rebuilding and down the bottom at the moment, sort of your Arizonas and your Edmontons, maybe even Vancouver, I can't remember. But those are the sort of teams that Columbus, that's another one. So they seem to be the sort of teams that have actually drafted for the future or haven't drafted amazingly well. And maybe it's something that's like pre-coded into the game or something. But I'm not 100% sure. Either way, yeah, I've had fun doing this. I will save it just in case you want me to do actually some stuff with it and play around with it a bit more than that. But yeah, I very much want to do a simulated GM series, non-fancy draft, just sort of a regular one with the rosters at the start of the game. As I said, there are a few people that do them out there, and I think they're very good and worth watching. But when I start mine, obviously you want to watch mine because mine's going to be the best. I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed this video, my first solo one. I know it ran a bit long, but I think I did my best. But yeah, so we will definitely be doing more two-player videos. We'll be branching off into other things as well. I know that Ryan's got a few things that he wants to showcase that aren't really so much my sort of games. He's not a big hockey fan. This game doesn't appeal to him. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye out on the channel. We got a few things in the pipeline. It's a few things that we want to try out and see how they do. So watch out for me on NHL 17. But until then, I've been Michael for Crane and Crane Productions. And have a good one.